let's get into the segment. What does this have to do with mental health? All right, so here are 5 ways being easily offended can affect young men. So, impaired relationships, and that goes back to the situation I was describing earlier with me. According to the article, Why People Get So Offended Easily, from Psychology Today, being easily offended often stems from unresolved past traumas or insecurities that cause individuals to misinterpret others' intentions. This can lead to strained relationships, as young men may frequently react negatively to comments or actions that were not intended to harm, creating unnecessary conflict and misunderstanding. So, boom, it goes back to what I said earlier, and I just spoke that up. Trauma from the past, then in that comment, and it wasn't even that deep. You know what I mean? And then I took that and internalized it and was mad about it. So that's a good point. That's aligns. Emotional instability. In the article, Why is a Person Easily Offended? The 3 most common reasons from Psychology Spot. It is discussed how easily offended acts as a defense mechanism to protect a fragile ego. This defensiveness can lead to young men to overreact emotionally in situations that remind them of criticisms and humiliations of the past, making it difficult to maintain emotional stability in day-to-day interactions. So again, back doing what we just said. The third one is reduced self-esteem. The Learn in Mind article, How to Stop Being Offended by Everything, highlights how constantly feeling offended can lower self-esteem. When young men are overly sensitive to how others perceive them, they may struggle with self-doubt and require constant external validation, leading to a vicious cycle of low self-worth and increased sensitivity to perceived slights. Now, with that, which is great because next week's episode is about people pleasing. And so some of this stuff kind of bleeds into the next episode, even this early on. We ain't even an hour, 40 minutes in or so. But it's interesting to see that because you're looking for that validation, you go above a natural way. And there were times when I was a people pleaser and I actually cared what people thought about me. It would be times where I would hear negative comments like that. And I would go out my way to try to like get people to see, I'm not a bad this. So look, I'm doing this. What about when I did this? And it's kind of like when they talk about the Bible and in the New Testament, it talks about how they was like, when they was like how people gonna be going to hell or whatever, and it's gonna be people who try to tell God, like, but God, I did this, I cast out demons in your name, and I did this and I did this, and they get caught up in the works and not just doing fully submitted or doing right. And so even in that situation, that those are parallels, because me getting caught up in trying to do things, even though you were doing them right, your mindset and your heart wasn't in the right place because you was doing it with the intention of getting some type of validation versus you doing it with the right spirit. And even though that person might not have noticed that, God is always watching. And I feel like because of that, it's like you only doing this because you want some validation. You're not doing this for the right reason. So I think that's something to keep in mind too. The fourth one is social isolation. According to Madam Nord and their article, Why Some People Are Easily Offended, How It Affects Their Lives, being easily offended can lead to social isolation. When young men frequently take offense, they might push others away either by reacting harshly or being perceived as overly sensitive. This can lead to a reduction in social interactions as peers might avoid engaging to prevent potential conflicts, ultimately increasing feelings of loneliness and isolation. And again, that goes back to the whole logic of, people